All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my final weekly video predictions for the last episode of The Walking Dead Season 9, our actual finale now, which is called The Storm. Alright, so since episode 16 is called The Storm, I decided we would go with blue for this one and, start to move away from all the red and darkness and blood and all the crazy stuff that we've been seeing after episode 15 in the Walking Dead Season 9. I think this was a really, really good choice. So yes, we have one final episode left for The Walking Dead Season 9, and then the season is over. Now, the decision to bring in the Storm or to have one extra episode after that episode 15, I think is really, was a great choice. Leaving things at that, type of moment right after what we saw at the end of episode 15, I think that would have been just a really crazy, not a cliffhanger, because it's not really, it wouldn't have been like a cliffhanger at the end of episode 15 if that was our finale, but it just would have been really weird to have that as our last kind of sticking point for the season. So luckily we get one more episode, which I don't know necessarily if it's going to bring us some kind of closure or what, but at least we'll be there, and I think that's better than nothing for episode 16 to see it. So, next Sunday or this upcoming Sunday, the final episode of The Walking Dead Season 9. What an incredible season that'll be. That'll air the 31st of March at this point, 2019, man. So Season 9, 2019, going on strong, looking to wrap up in quite spectacular fashion and unexpected fashion, I think I want to say, with everything we saw. If you guys missed it earlier, we've done lots of videos already. We've got reaction video that I posted in the channel, full review. Be sure to check that one out because we go through all the scenes and everything in depth and really give our thoughts on a lot of the most important things in that episode 15 that was just crazy. As well as our first Q&A about somehow, spoiler warning, Tara's death being my fault, right? People blaming me for it, which I understand, I do get, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't know if it does anything. They're going to do what they want to do anyway. They don't care what we say, most of the time. Not when it comes to stuff like that. They're going to decide to do what they want anyway, right? So, episode 16, The Storm. 15 is called The Calm Before, and then 16 is called The Storm. But really, those names are about as probably misleading as you could possibly get. Like, those are episode name clickbait, right? Calling episode 15 The Calm Before, as if it's before something, is like, there's nothing calming about the finale of episode 15 in the last 5 or 10 minutes of that episode. Nothing calming about it at all. But I guess if you're just talking the weather and character deaths aside and heads on pikes aside, then, The Calm Before and now this being The Storm, I guess, sort of makes sense in terms of the environment. So we see in the sneak peek, and I'll put the link in the description to AMC sneak peek if you guys haven't seen it. For this one, I don't really know what to say about it. It's really strange. You got everybody, they're wearing winter clothing. You have Daryl, he's got sweater on, and Carol, and he's got a hat on and everything. And you've got Ezekiel there, who's got this blue royal it's kind of cool blanket type deal on him, and Jerry too. They're dressed appropriately for the weather, and they're heading out on the road to somewhere, and it's kind of strange. The next way station before it hits. So I don't exactly know what's going on, right? This is a strange place for us to be in The Walking Dead. They have now diverged so far from the comics with this recent episode. They were already things were way different from the comics before this. But now that we've actually had our Carl 2.0 killed off, which is Henry, we've had, a lot of the other characters, killed off that we, a lot of us didn't think they would do. It really, you've got Lydia there, but then there's nobody. She's all by herself, and Daryl's kind of protecting her, I guess, or keeping her safe because everybody probably wants to hang her, considering she was a whisperer. Even Carol, he's kind of talking with Carol in this one. It's not like Carol's after or something, but in the sneak peek it says it's called She's a Good Kid. And you've got Daryl and Carol. They're walking with the rest of the gang, I guess, whatever gang that is, the current Walking Dead gang, I guess, led by Ezekiel. I don't freaking know. I have no idea what's going on right now. Henry wanted her here. No one else did. She's a good kid. So that's where the name of the sneak peek comes from. And then Carol says, every time I look at her, all I see is him. So Carol is just kind of, she's part of the situation with him. She's part of what happened with him. And it's, for them, definitely it's unfortunate. And this is why I think it'll be good for Lydia to stay away. Maybe she stays with Daryl and she kind of stays away from a lot of these survivors in different communities like Hilltop and, well, everybody really, Hilltop Kingdom. There were people that were killed from every different section, basically. So you wouldn't want her around the Hilltop people because they'd want to string her up for both Jesus and now Tara. So we got to keep her as far away from Hilltop as possible. Kingdom, same kind of scenario, even though Carol and Ezekiel are very reasonable, still that's Henry, and so people can kind of lose their cool pretty easily. So, definitely it's going to be difficult for Carol. Carol's really smart, though, and she's been through a lot, so she's going to be able to handle it, as we can see. But it's going to be difficult no matter what, because you got to think if Lydia wasn't involved with Henry, Henry would still probably be alive. But what can you do? It's too late now. You can't go back, Bob. Daryl says, what do you see when you look at me? So, the question of what does she see when she looks at Lydia? What do you see when you look at me? And then she doesn't, just basically you. It doesn't really answer like in terms of that way that she does the same way for him. But it kind of makes me think back to like a lot of the moments, a lot of the people that she's lost, and him still being there. Kind of makes me think of like Sophia and some of the others that like maybe like Beth when he carries Beth out and everything, and some of the people that have died along the way. Daryl kind of asking her, what does it make you think of when you see him? And then she just says him by himself, right? Because he's substantially important by himself for her to see him instead of it reminding her of somebody else that is more important. And that kind of brings into consideration as well. Like Lydia sort of in a way was kind of a support for Henry, and now Henry's gone. So it's kind of like Enid after Carl was gone. And we saw what just happened with Enid. So, wow, crazy stuff. So then we've got Jerry. The storm is coming in strong. The barometers is telling it. And Ezekiel will have to make it to the next way station before it hits. So where are they going? What are they doing? I have no idea. Most likely staying away from the Whisperers land, probably for now. Maybe something to do with the Highwaymen. I don't know. I don't know if the Highwaymen were connected as part of some bigger group or something. Maybe they are, and maybe the survivors are going to another way station to meet with them, or maybe it's just a stopping station on the road of somewhere they're going here. I'm not at all sure. Right, so the description for the episode reads, in the aftermath of an overwhelming loss, the communities must brave a ferocious blizzard. As one group deals with an enemy from within, another is forced to make a life or death decision. So this one is a strange description considering what we just dealt with. Okay, so in the aftermath of an overwhelming loss, so obviously that refers to episode 15 and all the different characters we saw killed off there. Was it 10 or however many it was? We'll have to go through it soon. I'll do a video probably tomorrow where we go through exactly who it was and kind of give our thoughts on each one in particular, because I think that makes sense considering we've never had an episode where you've had that many characters killed off all at once. And some of them are pretty major. Some people are kind of discounting a lot of them, but I don't know, considering they were such a concentration this season, and the show doesn't have that many characters either. Henry is a big one, for example. The communities must brave a ferocious blizzard. Okay, so we know that's coming. We know they're going to show winter for the first time, which is going to be cool. As far as an enemy from within, one group deals with an enemy from within, maybe dealing how to deal with Lydia, what to do with Lydia, if that's what it's referring to. Or it could be, because some of the people in the communities might go AWOL. Like if you look at Hilltop has no leadership, they've lost everybody, and you've got people there like Earl might go crazy, right? So it's going to be difficult for, like he might want to just go after them, regardless of whatever. And if he crosses that border, if anybody crosses that border into Whisper territory, it's war. So it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult for Ezekiel, Daryl, Carol, everybody to keep the survivors from going after the Whisperers and causing an all-out war outbreak again. which we've seen the Whisperers are more formidable than what we first thought they were after seeing their huge horde that we didn't know they had, really, except for the comics and what was shown in there. Another is forced to make a life or death decision. So maybe part of the blizzard or some of the things that are happening with the blizzard, but no doubt there's going to be a lot of people as part of the survivors that are going to want vengeance for what happened. And they're not right now they don't have the capability right now to deliver on that. They don't have the ability to just attack the Whisperers all out, just go right after them right away right now. They can't do it right now. They don't have the organization. I don't think they have what they need to in order to launch a full-out assault on the Whisperers, because the thing is with it is that if they go after the Whisperers now, they have to finish them off 100%. If they invade the Whisperers' territory, they have to kill them 100%, and they can't leave any of them alive. Because if they do, one Whisperer could bring out that horde, walk right up to the gates of any of the communities, and knock the gates down. There's just no way they'd be able to stop it. They'd have to abandon Kingdom, Hilltop, whichever. They could even go from one to another, Alexandria. They could start with one and then go to another and go around after and go to the other. So it's sort of like the Whisperers kind of have a nuke. And it's a difficult thing to deal with because if you have a nuke like that, you have the ability to nuke any of the communities, to walker bomb any of the communities. And there's pretty much nothing that they'd be able to do to stop you with that many walkers. It'd be a no way out situation. And it'd be almost impossible to divert them if you don't catch it in time. If it's right at your gates, it's pretty much too late at that point. So for an actual finale episode, I don't consider this episode 16 to really be a finale episode in that way. I think it's going to be another episode dealing with the ramifications of what just happened, so they don't leave us at this just brutal moment and have that be the final kind of thing for the season to cap off the season and leave us at such a dark, bleak moment. They decided to do that in 15 and then come back right away with something else so that we don't all, start thinking of season 9 as like this horrendous tragedy type of thing. They're adding more to it to give us a little bit more and something we haven't seen before with the Blizzard, which is cool, and set us up for, again, a big time question mark season 10 where it's like, what's going to happen? Well, there's going to be war probably, but it might take a while to get there till the survivors are ready to attack and ready to make an offensive. And there may be some people on their side that they might not be able to trust. Maybe Sadiq and people like that, I don't know. Maybe Alpha let him go back because he'll be a Trojan in some way. Maybe he'll report back to her or something. I don't know. He might betray the group. So we'll see. These are different ideas and different theories that we can kind of discuss after the season's done for season 10. But obviously, The Walking Dead has lots of life left in it, I think. And they did something really gutsy in episode 15. It's really dark. It's really gutsy and risky, right? It's not kind of a safe way to go with delivering an episode. But that's kind of The Walking Dead's motto. They never really play it safe. They usually go for it. And, they certainly did in episode 15. So let me know what you guys think about The Storm. How are you excited to see wintertime in The Walking Dead, or are you just so focused on 15 you can't even think past it right now? And I understand if that's the case too. If you like the video, please thumb it up below. You can also share, you can favorite. And if you're new and you want to subscribe to the channel, bottom left to subscribe. And I'll be back again soon for another Walking Dead video with you guys. It will be cool to see a blizzard in The Walking Dead. We've never seen it before. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.